Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And whether you're at home, driving, or even at work, we're always glad you're here with us. This is America's choice for empowering conversations every single day. Now, my name is Brian Westley Johnson, and we have such an amazing show for you. Listen, we are once again talking about the transformative power of consciously awesome living and how we can all connect with our divine selves to live our best lives with Sheila Applegate. Now, Sheila is a renowned conscious life coach, healer, seer, and best-selling author with over 25 years of experience guiding individuals toward conscious living. Her innovative conscious meditation technique and transformative consciously awesome Gnostic adventure have helped countless people overcome personal roadblocks, spark imaginations, and embrace lives full and filled with joy and passion. Now, her unique blend of therapeutic and intuitive coaching and divine guidance is trusted by leaders and experts across various industries and across the globe. So welcome back, Sheila. So glad that you're here with us.
Thank you, Brian. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, everyone, we are continuing our series with Sheila on the 4 pillars of consciously awesome living. But today we're putting a focus on the 3rd pillar, which is empathy. This is such an important thing for all of us to master, right, Sheila? I mean, we talked about imagination, we talked about belief systems. Um, um, and this is another, again, these are these pillars, right? These are these things that hold up everything else that we want to try to manifest. And so empathy, I mean, I don't even think people really think about it that much. So I'm glad that we're talking about it today. But before we get started, you found a fantastic video to kind of start us off on empathy, and it's from the RSA YouTube channel. So let's take a look, and then we'll discuss more on the other side.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Ooh. It's so funny, Sheila. And I could see we were both kind of giggling along with the video because it's so true. Some of the things that I was, empathy is feeling with people. This is from what, the person was talking about there. And then the sympathy is we're always trying to silver line it. And the words, well, at least to be fallen in place with that, which is so true with us. For you, when you're talking to people, especially your clients and that kind of thing, how do you express the difference between empathy and sympathy?
Mm. So, I first learned the difference when I was in college studying to be a therapist. And it's the foundation of what therapy is, really. Because when we sympathize, we keep ourselves separate from
Mm.
the situation. And when we empathize, we feel it ourselves in a healthy way. We
Right.
are able to remember, to sense, and to experience it within ourselves. So, helping people to understand that is really powerful as a tool to make deeper connections and to have that community that everybody is seeming to seek right now, and intimacy in relationships. And we aren't taught that. That
Yeah.
phrase started, like, I looked up when the word empathy came into into our dialect, and it was in 1908. So this understanding, and it came through the
Wow.
psychology era. Yeah. So it really is just more, I think, I made it to college without ever hearing that word, right? So
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I think our self-awareness is so important in this too, because it's what helps us embrace our own emotions. We have to have a healthy relationship with our own emotions in order to be able to navigate that.
Yeah, this is I know it's become kind of cliche, but now when we're talking about emotional intelligence, right? And emotional awareness. This is one of those things that's connected to it. Um, and again, like you just said, I mean, this is something that's new. It's still a young concept. I mean, it only been around for, a little over 100 years, 120 something years now. And we put a lot more emphasis, I think, in our society on compassion and sympathy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't about acknowledging or validating what someone else is feeling, right?
Right.
It's just kind of like, oh, well, you're over there and I'm over here, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. And that's it. Right.
Right.
Maybe we try to
Yeah.
do the silver lining. I love the fact that the woman said feeling with people is empathy. Feeling, actually putting yourself in that situation, and wow, what would that really feel like, right? And bringing that into your world so that you can really understand, because that's what it's really about. Now, there's another part of this that you and I were kind of talking about before we air today, and that is, you really want people to understand that not only is there a difference between empathy and sympathy, but there's also a difference between being empathetic and being someone who's an empath. Tell us a little bit more about that.
You're going to love this, Brian. I looked up when the word empath came into our language, and it came in 1956 through Star
Wow.
Trek.
Wow. You know I'm a
Right? Think
Trekkie.
about Star
You know
Trek
I'm
and
a
the
Trekkie.
empath, right? So I first, I think that the core of that is some people are innately more empathetic. It's natural to them. And I realized I was more empathetic than most people around the same. While I was in college, I know exactly where we were walking down the street with a friend. She was telling me about a bee sting, and I felt the bee sting at the same intensity as if I had just gotten stung. Like I actually turned to see if I got stung at the same time. And so that was an awareness to me of my ability to feel. And then also a red flag that I needed to really understand that path and be self-aware so that I didn't have to go through life feeling bee stings when people talked about them.
Wow, the trek strikes again. Wow.
Right.
So much stuff that came. So wow. So that's even younger. So, that concept is even younger than empathy.
No, empathy was 1908, and then this is 1956. So
1956.
It's about almost 50 years later. Yeah.
Wow.
The Star Trek writers were very empathic.
Right.
Yeah. So I think, now being an empath is something I hear a lot. And I've really explored why that's in our mainstream, why we're talking about it so much, and how to help people navigate that. So we can continue with that conversation as we move forward after the break.
Yeah, because I think too that you're giving us clues right now. We're going to get into more of it about mastery of empathy and being empathetic, because you can be an empath and get completely overwhelmed in all these different emotions and all this kind of stuff that's happening, where you feel as though you don't have any control. But there is a teaching, there is a mastery, this kind of stuff that has to happen too, along with this. So thank you for doing this and sharing this with us today. Listen, everyone, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Sheila's going to share with us why empathy is such an important part of creating a consciously awesome life. So these two things are connected. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Go to oldvinewinetours.com and book your luxury wine tour today and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. oldvinewinetours.com offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Visit oldvinewinetours.com or call 707-386-9859 for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code Soulivity to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your wine country adventure. Visit oldvinewinetours.com or call 707-386-9859 today.
The following is a paid advertisement from Premium Weight Loss Peptides.
Welcome to Premium Weight Loss Peptides, your source for compounded semaglutide weight loss medication. At Control Your Weight Today, we offer the same active ingredients as FDA-approved drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, but conveniently dispensed as a dissolvable under the tongue. No more injections, no more pills to swallow. And with our monthly membership, your medication, shipping, and telehealth-related weight loss services are all included.
The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products has not been confirmed by FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Start your weight loss journey today. Visit us at controlyourweight.today or scan the QR code.
Hey, welcome back to Soulivity Today, where we are talking about consciously awesome living with best-selling author and conscious life coach Sheila Applegate. Today, we are talking about the third of four foundational pillars, which is empathy. And, Sheila, this is so cool. I mean, again, I think we don't talk about empathy enough. You just pointed out to us that this is a relatively new concept, right? And that we're coming into awareness about how important it is to master and practice empathy in our lives. You've also said that people, when they use these foundational pillars, they're absolutely life-changing. How does being empathetic really support people in living a consciously awesome life?
So I would say this is multifaceted in that one of the things is this is how we deeply connect with people, right? And being connected to intimate relationships, whether that's with our pet or our parent, that's something that I think innately humans want. We want that connection. We want to feel alive and heard and seen. And so when we learn to have a healthy, empathetic relationship with other people, that, first of all, the foundation of that means that we have to explore emotions for ourselves. We have to learn to experience, to be comfortable in the entire spectrum of emotions, from the most severe, difficult ones to the most joyous ones. Most people focus on trying to stay in a midway numbing kind of emotional state, right? Not too happy, because then the other shoe might drop. Not too upset, because then if I'm too upset, then I'm not going to be able to feel comfortable. So one of the reasons we tend to move to sympathy rather than empathy is for that very reason. We're actually trying to protect ourselves. And when we go through life protecting ourselves, we aren't open to the experience of life. And to really live a consciously awesome life, you want to be open, alive, vibrant, experiencing what's happening with and around you. So that ability to connect to others is one of the most important parts, because that's going to affect your relationship with partners, with friends, with colleagues. So it's going to improve your career, because you're now going to imagine if you can go into an interview and you know what they're going to ask, what's what they're thinking when you reply. You can read that feeling and feel it with them so that you can adjust and help them understand you better in an interview. So it really is another one of those superpowers to living the life that we want to manifest.
Thank you for that, because I know when I was growing up, one of the things that we did as a family, we had these family meetings. And one thing that we practiced was, each person got a chance to share whatever was going on. And we got a chance to mirror that and validate that back. And a lot of times there was difficult things that we all were going through. And I'm going to tell you, it brought us really closer together as a family, because you're able to really see that see their life through your own eyes, and really understand and get lessons around that. And there's this practice, right, where you become more comfortable with your own emotions and sharing your own emotions with not just them, but other people, as well as hearing from other people about whatever is going on in their lives. And really kind of like, wow, really taking that in and seeing, wow, this person's going through something challenging, or this person's going through something great. That's fantastic. And really feeling the range of emotions. And at the end of the day, we become more emotionally aware and intelligent, right? I mean, it's just, Yeah, it's great. It's a great feeling. And it never stops, right? You never stop learning, you never stop growing through that. So this is great. I mean, this is really great. Um, before, in the next segment, we're going to get into some more practicum around this and that kind of thing. But I want to kind of stay in in why this is important. Are there some other kind of benefits that you see that come from this that may not be something that people are aware of outside of, just feeling what other people are feeling?
Mhm. I think that, by human nature, we're kind of selfish. And that can be selfish, I say with a big S when it's a good thing, right? I believe that one of the most fundamental things that people want in this world is to feel understood.
Mm,
And I say feel understood because that's different than someone telling you or thinking, but it's that absolute because our words can't explain everything that we are. And so our emotions actually speak louder than our words. And when we are able to engage with people and understand them by expressing that we understand their emotions and we are experiencing them, we open that gate for them to then experience us, which I think
mm.
is at the core of human nature's desire.
Wow. If I'm thinking, the word that came into my head was intimacy, right? My dad would
Mm,
always say, into me, see, right?
mhm.
And so when you open that door, or when that person is opening the door and you do the same, you get to see that person from a deeper level, and you see all of their humanity, you see all of their spirituality, their spirit, their soul. Man, that's a beautiful thing. That's a really
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I'm so glad we're talking about this today. I really, really,
Me
really
too.
am, because again, it's one of those things that, again, it's a superpower, right? And that
Mhm.
this isn't just in, we put up these walls and silos. This isn't just in our personal relationships, quote unquote. It's in all of our relationships. Work, I mean,
Right.
being empathetic at work is something that's important, right? Being empathetic with our children, with our partners, right? With our
Mhm.
family members. I mean, all of it's important. So, and so again, I'm so glad that we're talking about this. Listen, we're going to take another quick break, Sheila, and with everyone. And when we come back, we're going to move into some practicum here. How do we begin learning how to become empathetic in our daily lives? So we're going to learn about that from Sheila next.
Are you a business owner looking to expand your reach and revenue to a perfect community? Being a Soulivity Today radio sponsor puts your business in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every week, and it's affordable too. For about the cost of a cup of coffee and snack each day, you can reach ideal people looking for your product or service. Soulivity Today is a weekly, hour-long program that dives into the heart of what matters most in our lives, the people, places, and topics that shape our world. It's the perfect place for your business to shine. Go to soulivity.com/Soulivity Today to learn how you can expand your business marketplace by becoming a Soulivity Today radio show sponsor. And for a limited time, special rates are being offered, so don't delay.
Addiction is an epidemic. Millions are struggling, and over 100 lives are lost each day. Are you next? At Better Addiction Care, we understand the devastating impact of drug and alcohol addiction. Our network of treatment centers are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's time to fix the pieces addiction has destroyed. Our network of treatment centers offer detox, therapy, counseling, private luxurious centers, physical fitness, chef-prepared meals, aftercare, and your insurance may cover up to 100% of costs. Only you can put an end to your addiction. It's time to make the life-changing call and get the help you need. Call now, and in just minutes, you could be on your way to a drug and alcohol-free life. The call is free and confidential, and there is no obligation. Visit betteraddictioncare.com or call
855-246-4024. That's 855-246-4024.
Hey, welcome back to Soulivity Today. Listen, we are talking about consciously awesome living with best-selling author and conscious life coach Sheila Applegate, and we are talking about the third of 4 foundational pillars essential for living a consciously awesome life. And today we're talking about empathy. Sheila, this is such a great conversation. I'm like smiling from ear to ear on the inside because again, this is the stuff that I really like to talk about, where it's one of those things that's like, when you hear about it, it's like, oh, well, this is simple. But we do need to master it. And so here we're talking about how to begin that process. Okay. So we know that we know the importance of empathy now, and that by using it, we can create some different outcomes and even have some significant breakthroughs in our lives, right? So now I want to talk about, like, how do we bridge the gap between where we are today to becoming more proficient in using empathy in our daily life? So how do we do that?
So I think of people's empathetic ability to be a whole spectrum, right? We have people that are coming in and wanting to learn how to be more empathic because they don't. They typically are removed, thinking, not very emotionally intelligent, meaning their intelligence is really focused on linear thinking versus those feelings that we have within us. And then we have the empaths that we spoke about, who, like me, felt the bee sting. And obviously that ability that I have has been wonderful for my career, but it also required a lot of work, because I can wake up in the morning with what seems like an ailment in myself, and by the end of the day find out it was something that one of my clients that day were going through. So we have to learn how to master our emotions and our feelings and that self-awareness from whichever side of the spectrum you're coming in, or if you're coming in the middle. We need to focus our attention on getting comfortable with all of the emotions, and especially letting ourselves get comfortable with our uncomfortable emotions. And as we do that, we are able to open ourselves up, because it's not such a threat to feel an emotion in other people, right? Sympathy, which I can't wait till the day, side note, I can't wait till the day where I can go into a card store and buy a card that says empathy instead of sympathy cards.
Right.
Because I never know what to buy when I'm going for that. Having said
compassion is compassion and sympathy
compassion.
always.
Yeah. So when we feel that, and when we reach that point where we're comfortable with ourselves, we don't have the walls up. It's not a threat to experience the other person. Now, if we are not in tune with our own emotions, then we can imagine. Imagination, which was one of our first pillars, is necessary. We need to imagine. Maybe we never went through the experience that they had. How could we won't ever know exactly what they're feeling, but we can relate it to a time where we felt an emotion. So being able to feel emotions is essential. We relate it to a time where we felt something similar, and then now we imagine what we might feel in that moment. It doesn't mean they would feel in that moment. So now the more we master this, then we also think about who they are, what we know about them. And then we add to that the imagination of what they're feeling. We're never going to feel exactly the same thing, but we're going to get in a vibrational circle of that emotion. We're going to get close enough to what they're feeling to hold that space for them, to help them feel it, experience it, and feel understood.
Thank you for that, because I think when people get into more of a rigid definition of empathy and being empathetic, they might believe that they have to feel exactly what the other person is feeling. And that's not what we're talking about, right? Again, going back to the original video where the person was talking about feeling with the other person, right? So they are feeling a certain way, and you're allowing yourself to feel with them, whatever that experience is. And again, it doesn't have to be one-to-one.
Right.
It can be like, 60%, 70%, 80% there. But I think to your point, since it's all energy, we're moving energetically with them, and they feel that we're there with them. And that they feel validated. And I think that maybe an offshoot of this is that the compassion comes in. You're not fixing it, but the compassion just naturally comes into the equation after that, where the other person can feel that they're not alone, and that they feel supported by you and others who are who are showing empathy toward them. Wow, this is so. Again, this ability of being empathetic and how going through the process of allowing yourself to move into that energy space with people really, really, really can have a profound effect on your life and what opportunities can come your way, around just creating this consciously awesome life together. Anything else really quickly? We got a couple minutes, couple of seconds here.
I think it's important to, when we're moving into this, that we also remember that we're just stepping into it. In empathy, we step in and we step out. And the ability to step out, again, circles back to, have we allowed ourselves to feel our own emotions so that we know who we are? When we have self-awareness, we can really feel, okay, that's not mine. And when we're digging up a feeling from our past to help us understand, if that emotion hasn't been felt all the way yet, we can get stuck in it. So there's this self-awareness and this mastery of emotions. So it really does come back to everyday practice with ourselves and how we navigate this, that allows us to show up in that way. And then to say, okay, and that was theirs, and now I'm moving on with my day.
Wow. That's great. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So we master it within ourselves, and through that mastery, we can show up for other people. Okay. I'm getting that. But this is not the only thing that you want us to know, because listen, everyone, we come back with Sheila. She's going to give us some great tips about how we can embrace our emotions a little bit more and become even more empathetic. So stay right here, and we'll be right back with more Soulivity Today in just a second.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Dial 877-798-5991 today. That's 877-798-5991.
The following is a paid advertisement from Premium Weight Loss Peptides.
Welcome to Premium Weight Loss Peptides, your source for compounded semaglutide weight loss medication. At Control Your Weight Today, we offer the same active ingredients as FDA-approved drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, but conveniently dispensed as a dissolvable under the tongue. No more injections, no more pills to swallow. And with our monthly membership, your medication, shipping, and telehealth-related weight loss services are all included.
The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The efficacy of these products has not been confirmed by FDA-approved research. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Start your weight loss journey today. Visit us at controlyourweight.today or scan the QR code.
Hey, welcome back to Soulivity Today as we talk about consciously awesome living with best-selling author and conscious life coach Sheila Applegate. Sheila, thank you for everything that you're sharing today about empathy. Because as I was growing up, I always was learning that when you know better, you can do better. So here we are getting this information from you about how we can know how to use empathy to increase our capacity for having the life that we really, really want, right? You have some great tips about how we can embrace our emotions a little bit more and to become more masterful around being empathetic. What's the first tip that you have?
My first tip is to start to let yourself experience some of the uncomfortable emotions. And this, I like to tell people to look at the movies or books that you would avoid that have to do with emotions. So if you avoid a horror movie, then you're probably uncomfortable with fear. If you avoid what some people call sappy movie, maybe sadness, or a movie about somebody's death, different things, books that usually you're just like, no, look at them and then pay attention in yourself why you're avoiding them. And if you realize that that's one of those emotions you kind of try to avert, just start with watching movies in that genre or reading books in that genre, because then you can experience it without having to dive into what might be underneath under the surface, what you buried when you were younger, maybe.
I like that. That sounds very safe too. A safe way of doing it. That's nice. I like that. I like that.
In the water.
A little dip it little bit there. What's another tip that you have?
So my next one kind of is the next step from that. Savor the emotions. Eat all of the emotions. I have a memory from when I was a kid, and partly because my mom always reminded me, but I got sent to my room once and I was crying because I was crying because I got in trouble. I got sent to my room. I was crying and she opened the door and she's like, "You can come out now." And I cried, "I'm not ready yet." And she shut the door and I kept crying. And so that was a self-awareness, but we have that in us. So a lot of times, I will feel sadness on some day and I'll just savor the sadness, because sadness is usually, if it's grief, it's tied to the love that you had in the past. So when you savor one of those, slow it down, savor, experience one of those emotions that most of our society avoids, you allow yourself to open up to the full spectrum of emotions. And in that, you get to feel more joy. And honestly, people avoid joy too. A lot of people avoid joy, excitement. They don't want, they don't want to get excited because they might be disappointed. We're always trying to regulate our emotions. So when we let ourselves experience them, then we establish mastery. Not only do we feel better, but we start to be able to be more empathic to others.
Wow, I like these. You have another one?
I do. My third one is what you always know is my favorite. Also, nature. Animals. I mean, we are nature, but we forget that. So we refer to it as nature. Connect with a tree. If it feels like it's too difficult to let yourself feel another person's emotions, just kind of start to feel that energy of connecting with a tree or with an animal, a pet. a lot in therapy, if people had difficult time with emotions and connecting, you always, if they couldn't connect with people, you always encourage them to get a pet. And if they couldn't do a pet, you give them a plant. Literally, like that is a technique of therapy. Start connecting to your plant. And so start where you are. That is okay, wherever you are. But when you start to explore, and in that, you have to use your imagination, right? Because we can only imagine what our dog is saying, and unless we have a language we develop between them, but there's also imagination in that. So those are great ways to help us get comfortable with that with humans as well.
Okay, so we've got what I call practicing a safe way to allow yourself to become emotional. So like watch a movie, read a book, maybe there's some other ways, maybe listen to a song, right? Music. I know music, I connect with music a lot. And then savor those emotions, like really savor it, allow yourself. I'd say maybe not necessarily wallow in it. Like my dad would always say, don't pitch a tent, don't stay there. You have feel the emotion, allow yourself to feel that range of emotion, right? I like connecting with nature or whatever that experience is, right? In the natural world, right? Is there a last one? Is there another one that you have really quickly?
Yeah. So the last one is review the first two pillars, which was imagination, because we've talked about how we need imagination to, do all of these things that we just said. So play with your imagination a little bit more. Let that come out. Let that be your superpower. And then revisit your beliefs. Because if you have a belief that an emotion is unsafe, or that it's impolite to act this way, or that you're not good at something, then that's going to block you from it. So just sort of review those again, feel that imagination, play with it, and then check back in and see, are there any beliefs that I have that are interfering with my ability to do what I want to do here? And if they are, how may I adjust them so they can support me better?
Woo, these are really, really good. These are really, really good. Again, when you know better, you do better, folks. So take heed. And even if you think that you've kind of like you think that you have this high emotional intelligence or whatever, still do this stuff. You can never stop learning and growing. So allow yourself to immerse yourself into all this more. I know in me, there's times at which, I feel like I'm like everything is okay and that kind of thing. And I'll watch something and it'll really touch my heart. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was there. And I'll just feel it. I'll just allow myself to feel it in whatever is coming up for me. Because I think for a lot of us, there's a lot up underneath the boat. Like, if you're on the ocean, there's a lot of stuff that's beneath there that we need to get in touch with. So thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Sheila. Listen, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. Sheila's not done yet. But when we come back, we'll have more of Soulivity Today, including her gift from the heart. Right back in a minute. Bye. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours.
Ready to embark on a wine-filled adventure? Go to oldvinewinetours.com and book your luxury wine tour today and experience the unparalleled beauty and flavors of Sonoma, Napa, and Lake counties. oldvinewinetours.com offers transportation for the most amazing experiences in the Sonoma Valley, Santa Rosa, Healdsburg, and all of Sonoma County, as well as the Napa Valley and Clear Lake wineries of Lake County. From boutique tastings to bridal party transportation, we have you covered. Visit oldvinewinetours.com or call 707-386-9859 for more information. Don't forget to mention promo code Soulivity to get 10% off either a culture or wine tour. Book your wine country adventure. Visit oldvinewinetours.com or call 707-386-9859 today.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Dial 855-486-4553 today. That's 855-486-4553.
Hello, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today. Sheila, let's get to our gift from the heart today. You have something really, really special that you'd like to share. That's absolutely, again, these are all free things that we give because this is what we want to do with all of you around helping you move forward with your lives. What's this special gift from the heart that you have?
So we know that imagination and feeling and experiencing life is the core of consciously awesome living. So because of that, guided meditation, or a technique that I've developed called conscious meditation, is a foundation of a lot that I do. So I'm offering a gift for you to experience a audio meditation where I lead you through a manifestation meditation to help you create that awesome life that you're desiring. And if you're new to meditation, I say just listen to me like I'm telling you a bedtime story and you're a little kid letting in the imagination bring it to life. And if you're a deep meditator, already experienced, it's just one more technique to perhaps take you to a new level. So I'd love for you to have this free gift.
Yeah, and you can go and experience this absolutely free gift by visiting Sheila at her website at SheilaApplegate.com/manifestation-meditation. It's on the front page, so you don't have to literally worry about remembering the whole link here, but just go to SheilaApplegate.com and experience this beautiful manifestation meditation. It will help change your life, people. I mean, these are these things that are part of the practice. And if you do them on a regular basis, you'll start to see changes. And it'll also help you do things like, be more empathetic and all these other things too. So thank you, Sheila. Thank you for this. This has been wonderful. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Brian.
Again, I really mean it. I really mean it when I say thank you for your light and love. I mean, these are these things that people need. Because again, a lot of people don't know about these things, or if they do, they don't know how to take the next step. So here's the next step for them to take. So people do, go this resource, do the meditation. I mean, it's free. I mean, it's easy. Go to SheilaApplegate.com and do that. So thank you, Sheila, for being here. Appreciate you. Appreciate you so much.
Brian. I always love being here.
Listen, everybody. Listen, we got a few more minutes here. Just want to kind of do some housekeeping. First and foremost, we want to remind you to, join us on social media. We're on all the major platforms. Just do a search for Soulivity, and you will find us on Facebook, Instagram, X or Twitter, YouTube, and you can, follow us and learn more information and get tips and all this kind of stuff. Also, this show, Soulivity Today, is a podcast. So if you go to your favorite podcast provider, you can download us and take us with you wherever you go. I mean, there's so many shows, literally hundreds of shows that are there. ranging across a whole bunch of different subjects. So, why not take some empowerment with you? If you're in your car or at home or you're on vacation, just take us with you. Okay. Listen, also want to remind you that at soulivity.com, there's even more inspiration for your passion and purpose. We've been talking about this one fantastic article that we just published that helps support people have conversations with their loved ones who may be experiencing mental illness. I know this has been true in my own life, in other people's lives, where you need a little help in moving into that conversation. So here's a practical kind of tip guide to help you get started. Of course, that if you need more additional help, reach out to your local or even national mental illness and awareness resources. Also, there's a great thing on the latest with astrology for Sonia Francis, which includes information about the new moon in Virgo, which also includes what's happening right now, which is this super moon that's been going on, that's been fantastic and global and worldwide. So just want to tell you about that as well. Also, we talked about this on our last show, but I just want to repeat it, that Joy Keepers has this fantastic new book that's absolutely free. It's called, How to Live in a World of Crisis. It's with spiritual authors and teachers and healers from around the globe. It's absolutely free. You can download it by going to joykeepers.org today and going to joykeepers.org/free book. So listen, want to thank you for being with us today for this edition of Soulivity Today. Really appreciate everything that you guys are doing to move your life ahead. So come back and join us at 8 o'clock Eastern on our Soulivity TV channels, or you can listen to us or watch us on select radio stations across the United States. Go to soulivity.com for more information around that. Until next time, keep working your passion and purpose, everyone, and you're going to create a life full of high quality living, your best life today. See you next time. Bye for now.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted